Ethan sat frozen on his couch, his hands trembling as he stared at the TV screen. The numbers on the screen confirmed it. His best friend Lucas had just won the $22 million jackpot. Ethan could feel his heart pounding against his ribs, a storm of emotions crashing through him. They had made a pact 5 years ago, a promise sealed with laughter and dreams. If one of us wins, we split it 50-50 no matter what. They had fantasized about mansions, luxury cars, and exotic vacations. But now, 2 days had passed, and Lucas hadn't called. Not a single word. Ethan clenched his fists. It's impossible for anyone to part with $11 million, he thought bitterly. Money changes people. The betrayal sank deep into his bones. How could Lucas break their promise so easily? Were all those years of friendship worth nothing? A dark thought crept into his mind, and before he could stop himself, he began plotting. If Lucas wouldn't share the money willingly, he would have to teach him a lesson. That evening, Ethan picked up his phone and dialed Lucas's number. "Hey man, haven't seen you in a while. Why don't you come over for dinner?" Ethan forced a smile into his voice. "Sure, bro," Lucas replied. "Sounds good." Ethan hung up, his heart pounding. He walked into the kitchen and reached for a small bottle hidden in the back of the cabinet. Rat poison. His fingers trembled slightly as he unscrewed the cap. Just enough to make him suffer, he told himself. Not enough to kill him. When Lucas arrived, he was the same as always. Smiling, carefree, joking around like nothing had changed. "How's life, man?" Ethan asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Lucas sighed. "Same old, just hustling, you know?" Ethan felt his blood boil. Still pretending? "You're still lying to me?" Ethan's voice cracked with emotion. "You won the jackpot, Lucas. $22 million, and you won't even tell me?" Lucas blinked in confusion. Then his face lit up with realization. He pulled out his phone, his fingers moving quickly. His eyes widened. "Oh my God. Ethan, we're rich, bro," he shouted, his voice full of excitement. "I didn't even know. I haven't checked the numbers. I thought I lost like always." But Ethan wasn't smiling. His stomach dropped. "What have I done?" Lucas grabbed a fork and took a bite of the food Ethan had prepared. Ethan's world blurred. His breath came in short gasps. "Stop!" he screamed, his voice breaking. Tears spilled down his cheeks. "Don't eat it." Lucas looked at him, startled. "What? What's wrong?" Ethan's knees buckled. I put poison in your food." Lucas froze, the fork dropping from his hand. His face paled as his stomach twisted in pain. He clutched his abdomen. "Wait, why?" His voice was barely a whisper, filled with agony and betrayal. "I would have given you $1 million, Ethan." "Why?" Ethan's hands shook as he grabbed Lucas, dragging him to the car. "I'm so sorry," he sobbed. "I thought you betrayed me. I didn't know." Lucas groaned, his body writhing in pain as Ethan sped toward the hospital. Every second felt like a lifetime. By the time they arrived, the police were already waiting. Someone had tipped them off. As the officers pulled Ethan away from his dying best friend, he didn't resist. "I judged without knowing," he whispered as they placed the handcuffs around his wrists. "Forgive me." Lucas, barely conscious, looked up at him with tears in his eyes. "You were my best friend," he whispered. As Ethan was led away, he realized something chilling. Trust wasn't just about money. It was about faith, loyalty, and patience. And in the end, he had destroyed the only thing that truly mattered. Do you trust your best friend?